All right, so earlier today, against the advice of everybody here with me in London, well, we hit the streets and we were asking all these protesters to tell us exactly, specifically, what they don't like about President Trump. Well, you can't make this up. Take a look.
Why are you here today?
I'm here to protest.
What specifically don't you like about Trump?
I don't like his policies.
What policy?
All of them. Tell Trump to go home. He's not welcome here. We don't want him in the UK.
We hope that he takes this seriously. But of course he won't. He'll just ignore it and pretend it hasn't happened. La la la.
This seems like a party. It doesn't seem too serious.
No, look, everyone's just here for a good time, just to spread a message of love.
Don't you love America?
We're not going to engage with you anymore.
Got it.
Please make your way away.
Got it.
Yeah, we disagree on a lot, but you're very welcome to be here.
Thank you.
And I saw some people giving you trouble. There's no need for that.
I think America is divided, like Britain. I think part of America is deeply, deeply ashamed, and I think part of America has been hoodwinked.
Do you think that the NATO alliance, that the United States of America, is it fair if they pay 70% of the bill? What are you protesting? Are you here to you're just here to have a party, be honest.
I can't believe this is tone, man.
I'm here because of all the hate that Trump exudes, yeah.
I wasn't going to come out initially just because Trump's a
And why are you here?
To protest against the Trump administration and everything.
And what about them?
I'm okay not being interviewed.
It's a nightmare. He must be stopped.
America, wake up, vote him out.
It's been hot this summer for a reason, you know what I mean?
Is it Donald Trump's fault it's hot?
No, but I think he's promoting climate change.
Donald is not welcome, and free Melania.
I detest Trump because of his policies, because of his racism and homophobia and misogyny, and because he's just two-faced and duplicitous.
We respect human rights in this country, and we'd like him to see that the way that he acts and the way that he speaks, we profoundly, profoundly reject it in a polite way.
The lies that he's told, not to mention the human rights abuses that he's committed in his own country, we don't think he has any place over here.
I think a lot of British people are more intelligent than the Americans are when it comes to voting.
I'm quite angry. Even though I don't look angry, I am quite angry. Because what I think that he represents everything that's toxic about Western culture and Western history. And I'm furious.
All right. They didn't really have good reasons, but it was kind of a good party. I was shocked at how many people knew me. Here with reaction, the author of the book, Why We Fight, Fox News national security strategist, Dr. Sebastian Gorka, retired CIA senior intelligence officer, Fox News contributor Danielle Hoffman. Nobody wanted me to go down. We had one little minor incident, but you didn't get it on tape, which drives me nuts. But it wasn't that bad. I was shocked how many people knew me, but I was also, they can't answer. They just, like, I mean, should we pay 70%? No. Why are you here protesting? He's a bad person. It reminds me, every time America shows strength on the world stage, European socialist liberals hate it. If it was Obama apologizing or dumping $150 billion on the Mullahs, they'd love it.
Very reminiscent to me of 1983 when Europeans came out in protest against President Reagan for the Pershing II missile deployment. And it's a great contrast
to protect Europe.
Right, and President Reagan was proven right. Years later, we all agreed it was the right thing to do. Of course, those protests could never happen in places like Russia and China, but that's the first point. And the second one, we know the Russians have used the social networking and media sites to try to amplify protests and hurt our president. I just wonder whether they might have done that in this case as well. I think that's something for our intelligence community to check on. Yeah,
Dr. Gorka, your first reaction, we talked off air, you told me that you think I'm nuts for even doing it, but what's your reaction?
Yes.
They don't have a point, or no universal point, or nothing specific. It's getting hot in the world. Is that Trump's fault? No.
Sean.
Okay, why are you here?
Sean, I would have told you not to do it, but I'm glad you did. That was really very, very amusing and very telling. At least we now know that Donald Trump is responsible for global warming. I mean, look, these people, I would like to see at least this many Brits, go out and demonstrate against terrorism. Go out and demonstrate against the grooming and rape gangs that are being prosecuted. How about going out and demonstrating against female genital mutilation or the bombing of the Ariana Grande concert in Manchester? These are, look, we now have proof, Sean, snowflakes are everywhere. These are not the people who voted for Brexit. This is the chattering classes, and they have nothing to tell you.
You know, the reality is that, but for the United States of America and our commitment to Europe and NATO, I mean, they don't survive. I mean, that is the stupidity. One of the, I think, best things the president did this week was tell Angela Merkel, stop creating dependency on Putin and a hostile regime. Stop. And we've got more natural resources. We can put more Americans to work with career jobs tomorrow and export all the energy they would ever need in all of Western Europe.
There's a bit of irony about all of this, because Europe is under greater threat from Russia today than at any time since the collapse of the Soviet Union. And yes, the United States takes the lead in countering and deterring
70
Russia.
plus cents of every dollar, Daniel. We pay for NATO $700 billion a year, and Germany doesn't pay their fair share.
I mean, even beyond the financial aspects of this, it's really our moral leadership, our intelligence leadership, the strategic leadership of the United States. People aren't always grateful for that, but again, on the eve of the president's summit with Vladimir Putin, I find it awfully ironic.
You know, the president said today everything's on the table with Vladimir Putin. And just like the lead up to the Kim Jong-un summit in Singapore, oh, this is a bad idea. The president shouldn't do this. Dr. Gorka, I think it's good for the world if the president, we saw how direct he was with NATO. He's going to be the same way. He can't be any different. That's who he is. It will be an honest, forthright, frank discussion, just like it was with Little Rocket Man and Fire and Fury.
You know the president, I know the president, and people always ask me, what's he really like? And the viewers need to understand, he's exactly the same behind closed doors as he is in front of 50,000 people in an arena in Florida. He is a straight shooter, and you know when he closes that door and it's just him and the interpreters, he's going to say, look, what you did in the Ukraine is wrong. That it cannot stand. Stop messing around in Syria. We've already killed 200 of your mercenaries, and stop threatening NATO. He's going to be a straight shooter. But look, you know, Rod Rosenstein and everybody else wants to talk about Russian collusion. It's a fantasy.
As we all know. Dr. Gorka, we wish you were here with us. Good to see you as my friend.
Me too.
Daniel, welcome to London.
Thank
and we'll
you.
see you in Helsinki.